Hi everyone, this is Ariel and I'm not 100% sure where to look, I guess over here, but I just wanted to do a little video because I've been working on so many projects behind the scenes, working on my website, working on my teacher training, that I haven't really posted a video on YouTube, although I am working on a travel pole blog from one of my workshop adventures that I had earlier this year. Basically, there's a lot going on that I don't always share, but I'm working on it. But I want to be more regular on YouTube because it's a great way for me to teach and share what I have going on. So I wanted to talk about two things today. Number one of my most important tips for those of you out there who are teachers or interested in becoming teachers, because I just released my very first ebook, How to Teach Beginners, which is a book for those who are working with beginner pole students, or like I said, interested in becoming a pole teacher in the future. And the second tip that I want to talk about today is about being graceful. Okay, so let's talk about the first one. I was just having a conversation with a client the other day who was telling me that they don't receive very much feedback during their lessons. So they know that something doesn't feel right, they know that it doesn't look right, but they're not being corrected in the moment. And one of the things that I'm talking about in my ebook and in my upcoming virtual teacher training, which will be this fall, is the importance of providing feedback and corrections in the moment, okay? A lot of people view the learning process as one that is like reward and punishment because that's how we grew up. Sorry, I'm still getting distracted by my reflection and notifications coming in. But I just wanted to get something out there today, okay? So growing up, we experienced the learning process as reward and punishment. So if you do well on a test, if you get all the answers correct, then you get a reward because you get 100%. Oftentimes there's like rewards in the classroom, like a party or a privilege or a trinket. And then if you don't do well, oftentimes it's viewed as punishment. For example, I was actually a formal school teacher for a number of years, and one of the things I would have to do, I was required to do at some of the schools where I worked, was keep the children for extra tutoring when they weren't doing well, and oftentimes this would mean they would miss out on social time with their friends. So, we see mistakes as punishment, right? Or there's going to be a punishment involved. And that is not the case. Learning is not a linear process, and mistakes are necessary in order for you to learn. If you're afraid to try and make a mistake, then you won't get to the next step. The job of an instructor is to provide high quality feedback in the moment when those mistakes happen so the student can get back on track and closer to reaching their goal. It's not about calling people out. It's not about making people feel bad. It's about helping them. So, I have this thing where it's kind of like if I had food in my teeth and somebody didn't tell me and just let me walk around the whole day, or if my tag was sticking out of my dress and you noticed and you didn't tell me, I would think that you were not my friend. Do you know what I mean? So when it comes to teaching, I want you to have that attitude. Somebody is coming to you because they want to improve. So they've already given you permission by signing up, okay? And then we're going to talk about how to be graceful in just a minute. So for example, when I see somebody, rounding their shoulders in, chin down, looking at the floor, I'm going to say, chin up, eyes up, shoulders down away from their ears, and I'm going to be that constant narration there for them so that it starts to become an internal monologue and an internal checking system for them each and every time. You know, okay, can I feel my shoulders down? See how much difference that makes already? Okay, so providing feedback in the moment is really, really valuable, and that's one of the things I talk about in my How to Teach Beginners book. And I'm going to be telling you specifically the exact feedback that I give more commonly, or like, how could I say this? The most common pieces of feedback that I give to beginners in the last 10 years. I could already tell you in the first class probably 5 things that I'm going to say automatically to the group, the corrections that I'm going to give, how I give them and when I give them, and what my process is. So I'm going to be very, very specific in this teacher training. I'm literally going to tell you what I did and exactly how I did it, okay? Now, the second thing I was going to talk about was how to be graceful. So I find that so many of my clients come to me because they want to feel graceful, they want to feel beautiful, they want to feel polished, okay? We're doing the moves, but we don't necessarily feel like, let me think of somebody incredibly graceful. Audrey Hepburn was very graceful. A ballerina, okay? So that's how we want to feel, and then we will watch ourselves. That's not what we see, which is fine. That's how I started out. So I grew up doing ballet when I was younger, and I saw a lot of professional dancers. I was lucky enough to experience being in a program where I was exposed to some extremely high-level ballerinas, and I saw what they did, and I wanted to have that quality, but it took me a long time. So the first thing I want to tell you is that grace is a learned skill, okay? It's a specific way of practicing and a specific kind of attention to your body, similar to Pilates or yoga, where you are focusing on muscle engagement and embodiment and really being present. But instead of the goal being, I know yoga isn't, you know, a fitness goal. That's not what it originated from. That's, you know, but let's focus on Pilates or something like that, or power yoga, let's call it. In those disciplines or in those practices, the goal is on, you know, fitness alignment. And when you're practicing for grace, let's say in terms of ballet or dance, the goal is fitness alignment, yes, because there's a certain way that you need to engage your muscles and hold your posture in order to prevent injury and to make things the easiest that they can be in terms of using your anatomy to your benefit, your skeleton, your muscular system, all that jazz, right? But now the goal is on aesthetics. So not only are we holding our core, holding our posture, but the goal ultimately is to create an aesthetic with it, not just to do the fitness repetition, okay? So there's another layer to it which has to do with lines and creating shapes and creating a mood and energy when you move, okay? So the number one tip I have for you, it's gonna sound really, really basic, but I've been doing this 10 years, and over 10 years really, but the number one thing I want you to do is slow down. Most of the time when I'm working with students, they're simply going too fast to feel or to see their reflection and make those corrections in the moment and get control of their body to find the line. Okay, it's kind of like if we were, well, actually I attempted making a mural behind me, but if we were painting, it's okay. It's a good start. Like I said, I have a great attitude about being a beginner. That was my first try. Could it be better? Sure, but I think I did really well. But anyway, if we were painting a line, right, you'd want to go at a certain speed so that you can track your line. And I used to actually study art, tracking your line, training your eye, training your fine motor skills, etc. We're not just gonna, as fast as we can without even paying attention. So when you want to develop the grace, I want you to slow down. One tip I have, and I was talking with one of my clients the other day, is in everyday life, you can start practicing being more graceful. You don't have to go to the studio and take a dance class in order to do this. So she was asking me, how do you recover from clumsy moments? Just the other day, I knocked a glass over and I was upset with myself because I cannot replace this glass. And it was very, very beautiful. But instead of getting upset with myself, I realized that my clumsiness was due to me being so focused on, I was moving a piece of furniture, and I didn't take the time to slow down and pay attention to what I was doing and to see that this was obviously going to happen once I started moving the piece of furniture. I just wanted to do it quickly. I didn't want to take my time with it. And then of course it fell, it broke. I gave myself grace in the moment, and I took it as a sign that I am way too up in here, really focused on what I want to do, but not necessarily focused on the space around me and how I'm moving in the space. So anytime I have an accident like that, where I drop something, I run into something, I break something, I take it as a sign that I am moving too fast and I am not present in my body. So the tip is to slow down in those in those times, in those movements. So I stopped completely. I didn't rush to clean it up. I just stopped and I took a breath. I gave myself grace. I told myself I have permission to, make mistakes, to have accidents, and that nothing, that I break can't be replaced in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? It's just an object. It's okay. Even though I really liked it, I had emotional ties to it, but it's okay. And then I slowly cleaned it up. And I took my time to make sure I got every little piece of glass off the floor. And then after that, when it was time to move the item back, I really took my time and I took everything off the top. I didn't think, okay, well, if I just go slow enough and, if I just do it this way, nothing will fall. I took my time. And so if you find yourself, hunching forward, rushing, reaching for things, you know what I mean? As the second you feel those things, catch yourself. There's no emotion, there's no criticizing, there's no beating yourself up. Catch it, correct it, move on. Catch it, correct it, move on. So in those moments where I'm, we all do it, catch it, okay, I'm rushing, I don't feel like I'm in a nice posture, this doesn't feel good. Correct it, okay, shoulders down away from ears. That's number one. Look at the difference every time I just set my posture. This is me just slouching, not really holding myself, looking down at your phone. Now I'm going to set my shoulders down my back, pretend I'm wearing a pretty necklace, and keep my chin parallel with the floor. Look at the difference, okay? Catch it, correct it, move on. Try to spend as much time as you can here by self-correcting, and eventually you're going to shift from your default now, every time you catch, correct, and move on without criticizing, without shaming, without having this internal dialogue. Now my default, if I catch it and correct it enough, I'm slowly going to inch my way to, now this is my default. Okay? When I am out walking anywhere, this is my default. Okay? Because I want to embody what it is that I teach. I want to be a representation of my work, my methods, my teaching. And so when people see me out, because I run into clients often, I just did, not but 30 minutes ago, I want people to recognize my work and my teaching and join me in this place of grace, because it really is a superpower. Grace not only on the outside, but the inside as well. So, reminder, I have a teacher training coming up in the fall. It will be virtual. The reason I chose the fall, it's going to start in November, maybe a few sessions in December as well. So that time where things start to really slow down and get quiet and get darker is a great time to plan for the next year. And so if you are interested in starting out 2024 with an elevated skill set in terms of your teaching and growing your business, because this is all about retaining clients. When you are an effective, strong teacher, you will retain clients and you can grow your business. I was able to leave my 2 other jobs that I was doing while I was teaching pole in order to support myself and grow an independent business on my own, fully self-supporting, just because of my teaching skills. And business and like marketing, so my video skills as well. There were a couple things that went into it, but I'm gonna start teaching other people how to do this, and that's going to be in the fall. Early bird registration opens August 25th. It's going to be on my website, and then my retreat in Bali is full for September, but I really want to, and my October retreat here in Nashville is also full. But for 2024, I want to put some events together and really target this gracefulness piece. I'm also going to have a retreat just for teachers so we can actually learn in person. But if you are out there, you are watching my videos, and you are interested in becoming a graceful, elegant, poised dancer in pole or off the pole, even just, beginner heels type stuff, just the quality of movement that you see that I can share with you. We are not becoming Cirque du Soleil gymnasts. This is not about wearing a bikini and heels and doing backflips, which I absolutely love, by the way, but I'm just saying that can be really intimidating to somebody who hasn't even yet taken their first class. I have options for you. Please just know that I understand, and that is something that I want to offer, are experiences for those people who are just starting to dip their toe in and just want to feel beautiful, when you're walking. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Leave a comment down below. And yes, I will have lots more that I am posting and sharing. I am just now getting to the point where I really can focus my attention on this side of my business. So there will be more to come, and everybody have a graceful day.